All right. Israel security forces are training American cops despite history of rights abuses. It's not uncommon for residents of America's most heavily policed neighborhoods to describe their local cops as, quote, an occupying force. Judging by where many U.S. police forces get their training, the description seems apt. Thousands of American law enforcement officers frequently travel for training to one of the few countries where policing and militarism are even more deeply intertwined than they are here, Israel. In the aftermath of 9/11, Israel seized on its decade-long experience of an occupying force to brand itself as a world leader in counterterrorism. U.S. law enforcement agencies took the Jewish state up on its expertise by participating in exchange programs. Their policing prowess is marred by its primary purpose, occupation. A lot of the policing that folks are observing and being talked about in these trips is policing that happens in a non-democratic context. While tension on the militarization of American police forces has intensified in recent years, spurring some reforms that the Trump administration has already undone, U.S.-Israel police exchange programs have carried on without much public scrutiny. Why would we expect it to get public scrutiny? Police kill people all the time, and we don't, it's just something that we accept now. Well, it's something we've accepted for a long, long time. So, the irony of all this is that, what they do over in Germany now? Over in Germany, they make the police train at the old concentration camps. And the reason that they do that is because, first of all, there's a lot of space there. And, what else are they going to do with that space? But also because they want all law enforcement to have a daily reminder that when power becomes corrupt, this is what can happen. They want anybody that's going to have a badge and is going to have power be reminded of that in the most upfront, in your face of ways. The Holocaust, the most shameful chapter of human history, arguably, definitely the most shameful chapter, the most brutal of human exercises, the most brutal of genocide. Nothing is more in your face. And, I've been to Germany. I've been to a concentration camp before. It is absolutely haunting. And they have their police trained there so that their police knows when power becomes corrupted, this is what can happen. I'd be in favor of that type of exchange program. I'd be in favor of American police going to the concentration camps over in Germany and training there. Not training in Israel, where they are over-militarized, just like us. Balthazar, can we just move capital of Israel to New York City? I know that's in facetiousness, obviously. Platypus, good morning. I wake up at 4 a.m. I donate to Ron. I go back to sleep. Luckily, Ron is great, and I can wait until he posts individual videos to catch up. Much love. Thank you so much, Platypus. Thank you so much for the Super Chat contribution. It means the world. It helps keep this show going. And I very much appreciate you waking up at 4 a.m. I understand if you got to go back to sleep, and don't worry, the clips will be available for you later. And thank you so very, very much. So, yeah, it makes sense. Over-militarism is a worldwide issue, and it makes sense that they would migrate to where that's going on. But I wish that we can migrate elsewhere. And I wish they could go to Germany and be trained there and be reminded every day in a concentration camp. And then they can also be reminded of the parallels between what's going on with Palestine, between what's going on to Native Americans, between what's going on in the Middle East, and how that is another example of over-militarization. And that is an example of abuse of power. I knocked over the Live Me stream. I apologize. I wish they could have those reminders instead of being trained on how to be over-militarized. Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.